Morning, church. Just want to share a couple of verses from the book of Romans, but along this idea of encouraging one another. I don't know if you've ever been on a mission trip, a short-term mission trip, whether that's overseas or in the UK, or even just spent some time with the specific focus of going to do some ministry somewhere. We often do that with the intention of being a blessing to somebody, to encourage another Christian or a group of Christians in the faith to go and serve them, hoping that they would be encouraged and strengthened in the faith. From my experience of going out and doing ministry, whether here or overseas, I think there's a common thread from what I have experienced and what I've heard other people talk about in their reflections of those times, is that when you go out with an intention to serve somebody and bless somebody, you come back yourself even more blessed. You're the ones who have been strengthened in the faith. You're the one who've been encouraged by the people that you are going out to encourage. I'm sure you can kind of relate to that in some capacity. It's not a new phenomenon. It's a very widespread Christian experience, all the way back to the early church and the Apostle Paul. Right at the start of the book of Romans, Paul wrote the book of Romans to the Christians in Rome, to Jewish and non-Jewish background Christians, and he lays out the doctrine of the faith. He lays out what it is to be a Christian, and that we can be all, no matter your background, we all have to share the same faith. But at the beginning of the book, he first of all thanks God for the faith of the Romans, of the Roman Christians, how it's spoken about across the world. But then he says that he really wants to visit them, and he wants to find a way in the will of God to visit them. In verse 10 it says, "Make a request by some means. Now at last I may find a way in the will of God to come to you. For I long to see you, that I may impart to you some spiritual gift, so that you may be established. That is, that I may be encouraged together with you by the mutual faith both of you and me." Paul was desperate to come to visit the church in Rome, and he wanted to go with that intention of blessing them, to impart a spiritual gift, to encourage them. But he also acknowledged that when he goes and does this, he says that I may be encouraged together with you by the mutual faith both of you and me. Paul recognized that, he wanted to go and minister to them, to encourage them, but that he too, in doing that, would be the one who was blessed. There would be mutual encouragement going on, because that's what happens as Christians. We all have a responsibility, and we all have the ability to encourage each other. No matter if you're the leader or the one who's sent as the designated minister, that might not be you. But we all have the ability, and I believe the responsibility, to encourage one another. And the encouragement really is this, that throughout your day, as you make interactions with Christians, whether it's this designated time of ministry or not, you can be, and you will be, an encouragement. Paul recognised this. Paul was perhaps the most influential Christian to ever step foot on the planet, aside from Jesus. Yet he was going to go and visit these, you could say, nobody Christians in Rome. No one had really heard of them, or they didn't have a significant ministry. But he recognised that he would be encouraged by them, just by their faith. And we all have that ability, as I've said, and that responsibility, to encourage each other in the faith, and that we will have the knowledge that we will be encouraging people as we meet with them and spend time with them, that we can be mutually encouraged by each other's presence and by each other's fellowship. I hope that's encouraging. I'll give a blessed day today.